Spectrum, if you're listening, I just want to just you know what? Let's bring this in close. Let's bring this in close. You know what?
Get in close. Get in close.
Let's just Spectrum. I need you to look at me in the eye, okay? I need you to fucking look at me, all right? I'm trying to do this shit, and provide a good fucking product for the lovely people out there, and you're fucking this shit up right now, okay? I'm gonna need you. I pay good money, great money, for this, okay? Get your shit together.
And introduce who's hanging out with us this evening. And yes, we have a guest. If I may, gentlemen, may I take this one?
You may, absolutely. Yeah, you are more familiar with it.
So I had the absolutely fun, truly just a all-around blast of a time with hanging out with this gentleman and his peeps on their show. If you had been following along with our Instagram, you saw that there was a post on our story in relation to an episode I had the privilege of being a guest on, and that is the Dude Let's Chat podcast. Well, we wanted to bring them onto our show as well because they are so fantastic. So we didn't get all of them. We did get one. But he's going to be a blast. He's going to be hilarious. He is a very well-rounded mind when it comes to gaming. He also streams. So we got to give him a shout out, you know what I'm saying? But if we can get some claps in the chat, round of applause, if you will. I'll bring him in right now from the Dude Let's Chat podcast. Welcome, Isaac.
Isaac!
Hey.
No camera. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Hey, there he is.
How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good.
Oh, I'm in a completely different place now. This feels so weird.
Yeah. Like I'm shifted to the right a little bit. Like, yeah.
My bad, bro.
No, you're good.
How y'all doing?
Doing good,
wrecking
man.
stuff. What is this, man? I can't do it. But
Welcome to my world. Whenever you decide to suddenly introduce people that I'm not prepared for. Like,
You mean literally?
I prepared you last night, though.
last night, yes, I was ready for it. But in the past, you just be like, all right, and we're dragging them in now. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks.
They
All
all play
right.
Clash of Clans, and that just it's all good. I'll hold that up.
There you go. There you go. Again, chat, give him a round of applause. Go and show all the love to remind me what the URL is. Anchor.fm/Dude Let's Chat podcast.
Yes, sir. Dude, let's chat podcast.
Hell yeah.
That go show them love, follow them. That you'll see the episode that I was a privilege to guest on, which it was an absolute blast. We talked about WandaVision. We talked about Marvel. I remember one of the questions you asked me, which was still one of my favorite questions to be asked, was what comic would you like to see be brought to the big screen? And it really got me thinking. And guys, the answer to that can be found on the episode. So go listen.
Hell yeah.
Hey.
Nice plug, bro. Appreciate it.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
And I guess before we really get into the topic, yes, you did plug, you plugged Isaac in his podcast and everything. But Isaac, if you could just like kind of tell us a little bit about, like what you guys talk about and, like how long you've been doing this, all that fun stuff.
So we've been doing it for, actually, it was like a week ago. It was our 1 year anniversary. So yeah, for
Congrats.
And,
Another applause in the chat. Another applause in the chat.
And honestly, when we made it, we didn't really have a one topic we wanted to do, because me and my friend Chano, we started it at CC's because we were just eating, talking comics and movies and everything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was just like,
This place.
and I was just like, dude, let's just make a podcast where we just talk about games, movies, anime, like anything, really. So yeah, so that's pretty much our mantra. Is we just talk about games, movies, and all things in between. And for the most part, we focus on primarily things that are considered nerdy, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we just like to have a good time, man.
Damn thing wrong with that.
Nothing.
I mean,
Damn
this
thing
man
wrong.
brought up anime, and I automatically love this man. So I'm good.
Yeah, I thought about wearing my cowboy jersey today, to match Sam with the San Francisco jersey.
All right, so everybody say bye to
All
Isaac.
right, bye, Isaac.
Yeah, get the fuck out.
No. Hang on, where is it?
That love gone.
Although I'll say, I mean, none of our teams really have hate for the Cowboys. You got the 49ers. I'm assuming you're this way on my screen. I don't know.
No, I'm sure you're the other way. Yep, there you go.
That way, cool.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming the 40. So he's the 49ers.
Yeah.
Is Anderson above me?
Yes.
He should be.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. The Broncos and I'm the Panthers. So we have no correlation to the Cowboys. Y'all are safe.
Yep. I gotta ask though, Isaac, are you from Texas or?
Yeah, I'm from Dallas.
Okay,
I'm
nice.
From Dallas, Texas.
Okay, yeah. I live in Austin, like in the Austin area right now. So like, yeah.
So
I'm
he
actually,
Oh, that's
definitely
where my
is
brother
one of them
lives.
boys.
okay, nice.
Yeah, I'm not a bandwagon. Even though we suck and we're terrible,
Hey.
and we're not gonna win anything anytime soon. But I mean, it's
Hey,
fun.
but
but Dak
I'm a
got his
fan of-
contract though.
I'm with
That's
the
all that
Broncos.
matters.
Don't even talk to me about that.
Dak got paid.
Yeah,
Dak got
Dak
paid.
finally got paid. Yeah, no, my fiance's a Cowboys
Yeah.
fan, so like, yeah, it's a constant quarrel in our house of whose team sucks more.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I mean, I tell people all the time, being a Cowboys fan is like you're in a relationship with this girl that's crazy, right? And every time you want to break up with her, she does something amazing, and you're just like, you know what? I'm gonna give you one more chance. I love you. You know, listen, you know what? I was wrong.
Straight up catch 22.
Best
And then,
description of the Dallas
and then-
Cowboys I've ever heard.
and then the following week, you know, she goes crazy again and whatnot. And I'm like, you know what? Now is the time. Like, I'm over this. I'm gonna be the bigger man. And then she comes up with my favorite meal, puts on my favorite anime. I'm just like, you know what? I was just caught in the moment.
Playing with your hair, you know, like it's okay,
Exactly.
baby, I'm
Yeah.
here.
And then at the end of the season, I just cry and get ready to repeat it again.
yep.
See, what I'm hearing is we need to take Anderson, you and I need to take a flight to Texas.
Apparently.
And I'm hearing a Dude Let's Gaming Bunch podcast collaboration, one good time, all live, directly, all of us in the same room. That'd be
Yeah.
a blast.
Dude, we actually have an arcade down here called Side Arcade.
Cider
like, you
Cake's
actually
awesome,
stay
bro.
right
They have
through
one
there.
that they just opened one up here in Austin. It's
Yeah.
like,
I hate
yeah,
Virginia.
Oh yeah,
like my fiance
and they
told me
made
about
one
it.
in,
You're so fucking boring. What the fuck?
I just want to cry. Y'all have so much cool stuff.
Yeah.
All
down
we
there.
have is bars and just
Yeah.
decoration.
yeah, no, that place is awesome, dude. Like, if you do come down, like, Cider Cake's where it's at.
We have a.
Well, hey.
I don't know if you have one up there, but we have a similar one down here called Pinballs, and it's basically just like this big, kind of like main event, sort of. Like I'm sure you have a main event up there, but
Yeah.
it's a local one, and they have like a bunch like old school retro games plus like pinball and everything like that. And then on the one side of it, they have like a normal bar, and the other side they have a whiskey bar, bro. It's. Ooh. If you ever come down to Austin, let me know. I'll
The
show you a good
Texans
time.
keep talking, and I'm just reminded how much my life sucks up here.
Dude, the best feeling ever. So they have this cider called Birthday Cake, which tastes like a birthday cake. And I don't know,
Imagine
like, so growing up, I went to Chuck E. Cheese all the time for my birthday, and at this one arcade, it was a Jurassic Park arcade where like the seat moved and everything. And when you run out, I mean, obviously games like that, you're supposed to lose, run out of tokens and whatever and whatnot. But with Cider Cake, you know, you pay you $10, you get access to it. And dude, have you ever tried to kill the T-Rex hammered while your seats moving all over the place? Greatest feeling ever.
We're in Virginia.
And then-
all we do is get hammered.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah, that's all it is. We have an entire stretch of road through the mountains dedicated to getting hammered. So hey, you know what?
That's
We
the
got
only fun
something.
thing in this whole fucking state.
Yeah, blaze it up, bro. Yeah, I got that.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think we need to take a trip to Texas
Yep.
soon.
Just out of curiosity, is that a Moon Knight shirt or is that just a shirt with the moon crescent on it?
Oh no. Hashtag not Ned. This is an Into the AM shirt. This is a brand I wear all the time.
And today, oh, yeah, that's a good shirt. I like that brand actually. I know about them.
Yeah, I love it, dude. Their shirts are so damn comfortable. And honestly, as a thick boy, they
That's
fit
something.
really
I mean,
well.
I'm a thick boy myself, you know. So
Hey,
I'm just
Thick squad.
Thick boys represented.
well, gentle dudes, let's jump into the topic.
Dudes.
let's do it.
Dudes, gentle dudes.
Do that.
So, fun fact: that guy, like we're the Brady Bunch, and this is how we became the.
I mean, we are the gaming bunch. So, yeah.
So that guy was actually supposed to be off tonight.
Yeah.
So he I don't know if he even knows what we're talking about, but that
He does.
guy
I fill him in. Yeah.
Okay, well, that guy definitely knows what we're talking about,
Yeah,
and I know.
and I filled that guy
I
in.
think-
So yeah, I don't know if Isaac knows, but
okay.
this guy knows. This
I
guy
have an
knows.
idea.
I don't know
I have an
about this guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Chat, I get no pay. I get nothing.
Yeah, well, hey, it happens. But
Yeah.
Sam,
Fuck you.
Sir,
take it away, sir. What are we talking about?
tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we all play video games, right? And I'm sure you know.
Hell no.
No. Oh damn. Oh, this is the wrong podcast. Fuck. Oh,
I play
Sorry, I'm
D&D,
in the-
bro.
I'm in the wrong.
Anderson just vomit?
Anyway.
I watched this man go.
Nah, that was a nasty cough. I didn't even want the mic to get that one.
All right,
Yeah.
we're off the rails. We're off the rails.
Anyway,
okay,
going
what
back
was
to
it again?
we all play video games. I'm sure at some point you've seen a news article somewhere that has blamed some activity on some sort of video game. And so tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about, as a society, do we unfairly blame video games for a lot of societal problems? So, gentlemen, do we unfairly blame video games for societal problems and stuff like that?
I think we should get the guest to answer first.
Ooh, on the chopping block. Let's go.
So do I come in hot?
You better answer no. Oh no, the voice is back.
So when it comes to blaming games for any type of violence or negative action, I think it's lazy and completely inaccurate. For like, okay, just like
Hi,
I
Ghosty,
thought
bye,
of this
Ghosty.
as soon as I thought of the topic, because I remember thinking this when I first heard it, because I think it was with I can't remember the school shooting. It was the one with Doom. They acquitted
Time
Doom.
out. Time out.
Time out. Time
okay.
out.
Trigger warnings for anybody out there. I understand usually we don't put those in. We do put them in the videos. Trigger warnings for anybody watching the stream. This shit might get real.
Yeah.
So
No,
trigger
I'm
warnings now.
not gonna get too into detail, but it's just they try to say Doom caused violence, right?
Yeah, not
And-
even Doom Eternal. It was like Doom 2016, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And-
you're right.
and my thing is, so before video games were a thing, people played board games, right?
Mhm.
And one of my personal favorite board games that I've ever played is chess.
Okay.
And chess, like you can take it, you can look at that and say, well, we should ban chess because, in a sense, it could be like, they could attribute to
Create
war.
psychopaths.
Yeah, no, they contribute to war, like so, because
I
it's
mean,
a
chess
strategic
is
tactics
basically
game.
like simulated
It's-
warfare.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yep.
pretty much that, right? But no one's batting an eye because it's a game that's been around for.
It's just a
Centuries.
bunch of wood pieces on a wood checkerboard. That's all it is. This ain't nothing bad. There ain't no guns in it or nothing. Gun.
Exactly.
my own thing.
Oh, grandma, you back?
and the reason I say it's lazy is because instead of looking at the dude's mental psyche or whatever, instead of like getting into the mental health of the individual, it's easy to blame games, sweep it under the rug, and call it a day.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm seeing. Okay, go ahead.
yeah.
No, so I mean, for the most part, that's what I think of it. It's laziness, and people don't really want to find a root to the problem. They just rather it's this one thing, sweep it under the rug, call it a day, on to the next one.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Have y'all ever watched the show Criminal Minds? I just got to throw this out here real quick.
Bits and pieces.
I'm not a basic white girl,
All right.
so no.
Well, okay. So my fiance is. She got me into it. So anyway, no offense. She's about to flame me in the chat. I already know. But so in that, it's basically a group of FBI agents. They're called a behavioral analysis unit, and they go in and try to figure out what makes a serial killer tick, right? And it's a super interesting show. You should watch it. Hashtag not an ad. We're saying that way too many times this podcast. But fucking
Hey, that
and
could be the title on YouTube. Hashtag not now.
I mean, apparently, but not once. And I've watched this front to back, up, down, sideways, probably 100 times now. Have they ever blamed video games for violence? Like, not a single time. And now I get it's a TV show, but not a single fucking time. Not a single fucking time did they ever do that. And it's like, that's the FBI. And again, I know it's a TV show, but
So if I may.
No, you can't. Anderson?
Okay, fair. So we have to look at it from a standpoint here of, and I feel like this is the case. And tell me if I'm wrong. I feel like we have to look at it from the standpoint of the severity of what they are pinpointing it to.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean by that, Isaac brings up a valid point. Talking about a school shooting and they blame it on Doom. Okay. Whereas a kid could act up to his parents simply because he might have played the game Bully. You remember the old game Bully?
Great game. Hashtag not an ad.
Yeah. So like you have to look at it from that standpoint of the severity of the crime, if you will, and where it's derived from. Now, I'm going to say this as the Isaac, I think we've talked about this before. You're not a parent, are you?
No.
Okay.
I'm worse. I'm a
as the resident dad here, I'm going to say this now to get it out, and that way we don't have to come back to it. Parents, parent your kids right. I want all four of us to clap together. Parent your kids right, and they won't be jackasses. Okay?
Yeah. Do your
Hear me
fucking
out.
job and actually teach your children.
Parent your kids right, and they won't be jackasses. Okay. Now that we got that out in the open, we don't have to come back to it at all for the rest of the evening. Might reference it, but we don't have to come back to it and dive into it. We've said it enough before. Just getting it out there now. But I genuinely believe that the severity of the crime is the determining factor of where we have to look at.
Yeah.
And yes, for everyone out there, we're going, again, I said trigger warning, so you have it. It's out there, you know. Sam, you might want to put trigger warning in like the title of this too, just in case.
Honestly, I'm in here, so you know there should be a trigger warning anyway.
That's fair. We should have like a parental advisory sticker right on like Anderson's like
his hat. I'm gonna
shoulder.
The next thing I'm getting, so for Christmas, I'm gonna get you a hat, and I probably shouldn't spoil this, but I'm gonna get you a hat. It's just gonna say parental advisory on it. That's it. Like,
Fuck yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
But so going back to what Isaac said about like a school shooting, shootings have been, video games have been blamed for multiple shootings. There was a shooting blamed on GTA. There's been a shooting blamed on Doom. There's been a shooting blamed on Manhunt. Part of why California wanted to ban it so bad was because they felt that that was a direct correlation to the rise of violence amongst teens and young adults and even kids. If you feel in any way that a game for young adults and teens and kids isn't good enough, isn't a game they should play, you need to have that talk. And also, people out there as well, if you work at a video game retailer, because they still exist, if you have friends who you feel as though may be mentally off in some way, talk to them. Because if we're looking at the video game and saying that's the root of the problem, we're forgetting the fact that there's a lot of people who probably knew shit was going on to begin with. This shit doesn't just go, I'm a healthy boy, I'm gonna fuck someone up. Like it doesn't work like that. It grows. In video games are a small dose. We've talked about this before. The healthy alternative episode, we talked about the fact that video games are a healthy alternative to be able to de-stress, not create stress. Mm-hmm. I don't go on GTA and start mowing people down and go, man, I think my Nissan would look great with a new paint of red. Like, it doesn't work like that.
All right.
Meanwhile, Anderson was just finishing off cleaning off the blood off his.
Big boy, get truck time.
But I want to know y'all's thoughts on that too, because we'll start at the most egregious here since we've already brought it up. But when you look at it from that standpoint, I firmly believe we unfairly blame video games as a society, and not us gamers. We understand what the hell's going on. We play these things consistently, but society blames so many games that have no correlation to this whatsoever. Thoughts? What are y'all's thoughts on that?
Oh, all the time. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take this. So with because of course I believe that society blames video games unfairly for violent acts or anything like that. I mean, shoot, society has blamed metal for things like that, like the Columbine shooting, for example, with Marilyn Manson. They blamed that for the shooters. So I mean, you can see it with different aspects of different things that are more harsh and I wouldn't say violent, but like harsh and misunderstood by people, that they will, if someone's into that, they would be like, oh, that's their problem. And it's not that. It's just that what I believe to be the problem is that people often go, because they go untreated, misdiagnosed and everything like that, and they're left for too long, and they try to use these things on their own to try and de-stress, like we said, or they try to cope with what they're feeling or what's going on inside their mind, but no one's actively there to help them through it. And then these things, when the media finds out and they do something stupid or something like that, then they're like, oh, this caused it. No, the problem was there in the beginning. This was just an effect. There's things about it, cause and effect. So yeah, I believe that video, because there was also, what was it, Modern Warfare 2 with the No Russian mission.
Yeah,
that got blamed. That got hella blamed. So yeah, I would think that it's not more along the lines that well, of course, like Joe said, parents teach your kids, but I also believe that if you have a friend or someone like that who you can see some not okay things going on with them or anything that's worrying or something, don't just sit there and be like, oh, they're fine, it's just a game or something like that. Talk to them, get them some help. Tell them to go see a psychologist or a psychiatrist if it's really, really that bad, which usually the psychologist will recommend them to a psychiatrist if it's that bad. So talk to them, give them some help. And then after that, you've done all you can. You got to leave it up to the professionals. And if the professionals fail that part in time, then that's on their field. They'll have to rectify that.
Ooh, I just have to kind of point this out. So, Homicidal Bride in chat, that's Kate, a good friend of ours. She's saying that she's actually writing her dissertation on the relationship between violent video games and violence amongst teens. So, if you got some juicy nuggets of info, drop them in the chat down below, because we'll
see that too. Because I've had to write papers on that stuff too. But not a dissertation, Jesus.
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, I can't agree with you guys more there. I mean, it's totally unfounded, all the blame that video games get. Like, yeah, it's violent images and stuff like that, but that's not going to cause me to go like, yeah, that shotgun's looking like it needs to kill a few people, like it's
not going to make me be like, oh, I just ripped and tear through a game, I should go rip and tear through a fucking movie theater.
And again, and what Joe touched on, we're touching on the extreme right now. We'll get a little bit more mellow here in a second, but
we're starting here, boys.
I mean,
the roller coaster got to come down at some point.
0 to 100 real quick. But yeah, I mean, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was saying, no, it's like just using this from a perspective, and this is also to the case. When we say check on people, you don't like this isn't the concept of checking the stranger at the mall because they seem kind of sus. Like what I'm saying is, like, you've got best friends, you've got friends, you've got brothers, you've got sisters, you've got all these people out there who know what the hell is going on.
Although if you're in the mall and a stranger is walking through there with a shotgun, I'd recommend calling your local authorities.
Drop kick that motherfucker.
Unless it's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Unless it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, then he's the good guy. You stay behind him.
Yeah. And you run away from the cop.
Yeah.
If it's Arnold Schwarzenegger and he's carrying a shotgun, I'm running behind him, because whatever he's walking towards, I want no part of.
But it's easy to be a good judge of character at times, unless you're a total shithead who has no social skills whatsoever. You can tell if someone's messed up in the head. You can tell if someone's not all there, or someone's just feeling off, or someone's feeling pretty dark, or whatever. Like, checking up on someone is extremely important, because it shows them that, hey, there is a light that is here to help. No matter what happens, like, hey, I'm here.
And it shows them that there's someone who fucking cares.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
But video games, we all know that video games have stories, they have characters that tell these, that they have these arcs that you follow. And just because violence exists within that arc or within that story does not correlate to again, like Sam said, oh, that shotgun looks like I need to go, drop a few shells. Like it's not, we look at it because it's almost as if as a society, and I may be wrong here, but it's almost as if as a society, we try to find the path of least resistance when it's most effective for us, especially when it comes to the media. The media is a big brain. It's a hive mind that always has to pump out information. And truly, the media is a prime, suspect when it comes to, taking video games to the absolute extreme. Oh my goodness, there was a gun hanging on the wall in that video game. He clearly wanted to murder someone. Bitch, I'm playing Animal Planet. Like, or Animal Crossing, whatever.
Yeah, Animal Planet.
Animal Crossing, you mean?
Yeah, Animal
I'm
Crossing.
Googling that video game right now.
Lost Planet's amazing now.
Yeah.
I just finished a round of Battletoads. What the hell do you want me to do?
It's
But-
like, I was playing Monkey Simulator.
Right. But you look at it from the standpoint of where the media has to always push something. You have to keep pushing stories, and the way to do that is one of the biggest things you always see is shootings, killings. There's always some sort of murder happening, or there's a suspect, or whatever it is. There's always a story running for that.
It's that shock factor that pays.
Well, yeah,
Correct.
that and like also
Because
the
media
related
is a money market.
and the relatability factor. Like you got to think like, let's say, somebody shoots up a school and, they do some research into their
forbid.
background. Yeah. Again, hopefully that never happens, again, but I mean, let's be real. It's probably going to, but
Yeah.
if it happens, the news outlet's not going to like dig into their background and be like, oh, well, his daddy, he was abusing him and, all this other stuff, like things that actually have like cause and effect kind of stuff.
Credibility.
Yeah. No, they're going to be like, he did have Modern Warfare 3 download on that PS3. That's a
Yeah.
violent video game.
They're not,
And then,
but
but then,
media's not going to look at it like a forensic analyst.
yeah, but then places like Fox and CNN are going to be like, hey, we have a bunch of Karens that watch our show. Karens have sons and daughters that play these violent video games. Let's scare the shit out of them. Like, I mean, because that's going to actually get them to watch and then to, follow along with that story. Like it's going to bring in some views there,
And that's why you see when the major news outlets and stuff, when something terrible happens, I mean, they report on it for days on end and it never stops airing.
Yeah.
Because they want those views and they want that generated money and stuff like that. Because let us all not forget, media is a fucking business.
Yep. And Kate in chat did drop in with a beautiful, eloquent chat comment here. She's saying, I'm not an expert, but my research suggests that teens, people who in general have a genetic disposition for violence, tend to play violent video games. Correlation does not equal causation, though. A lot of studies show that violent video games actually help release tension and prevent violence because it is a good outlet for kids.
Yeah, I know for me, like back in high school, I was a big MW2 nerd. I was a quick scoper and whatnot, and there'd be times where like you've been through high school. It could be stressful at times, and I remember just being like angry all the time, and then only when I got on the MW2 and I was like, "Yo, someone want me on Rust. Want me on Rust." And then once I pop a few headshots, I'm like, whew. It's like therapeutic for me. I'm like, okay, I feel good now. I'm chill.
I'm just looking at Joe's eyes and I just see him like horror going back into Rust.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude,
never again.
I was trash at Rust.
Fucking Vietnam flashbacks.
Yeah, no, like whenever I saw that, I'm just like, man, for me, video games are therapeutic, and especially for me, like I was an athlete. I played football, and there'll be games where I have a bad game. I just want to hop on Madden and hit stick someone. I'm not gonna go into a playground or Walmart just randomly tackle someone. I'm like, nah. I'm gonna get Ray Lewis, and I'm a second quarterback.
This is something to think about too. Another reason why, and Isaac, you bring up very valid points of being able to play online with other people. Something we often disregard in those stories is when we go play online, more than likely, we're playing with our friends.
Oh, yeah.
People we may have not met yet, people we may live right next to. Those friends know what's up. I can go at prime example. How many shooters? I know I haven't played any games with Isaac yet, and that's going to change. But Anderson and Sam, how many shooters have we played together?
Oof. I'm gonna give I'm gonna give you an exact number. Hang on. No, I'm not.
All right, while he's
no, it's not gonna happen.
Ain't no way.
Plenty. Now, I'm going to speak on this, and if we're being real, I'll be 100% real. I, strong advocate for mental health, went through a very dark time in my life. Not once did I ever pick up the sticks and play a game and come out going, man, I feel worse. You feel better.
Yeah.
You feel better. It's not you go and Isaac hit the nail on the head. You can go into Rust. Not me. You can go into Rust and pop off a few headshots and feel good as shit. Your friends are gonna be talking you up, bro. You clutched. Oh my god, like dude, I just hopped into Siege the other night and I aced the whole team for the first time, and the guys were like, bro, you aced them, dog. You aced them. What up? Like you get hype. You don't feel worse. You get hype. There's no correlation to the violence that takes place outside because I have a violent game on my console or PC.
Very glad you brought that up because Kate has another little juicy nugget here. Ooh. She said, you also have to remember that when you're playing games like COD, you're not in your head going, I'm killing people. Your brain is able to differentiate between actual killing and then first-person shooter games. It's kind of frustrating when people assume we are murderers for shooting fake people on the internet. Like, come on. Like
and virtual for a reason.
Nail on the head. Yeah. Like, you know, like it's a very clear difference between some pixels on my screen and then flesh and blood person.
Yep.
You know, like
yeah. And to add to that, here's another point I would like to bring up is that like when we were growing up and stuff like that, video games were accessible and stuff like that, but it was harder for us to get that because prices and everything like that. Nowadays, with kids and social media and everything else that goes on in their lives, high school and middle school fucking suck. Yeah. So they go home and they want to de-stress and stuff like that. They pop on a video game. But some of these kids, they don't have the chance to de-stress because their mom or dad are yelling in the background or something other socioeconomic problems and everything like that. Growing up these days is a lot harder and a lot more stressful than it was back, say, 10, 20 years ago.
Let us not forget the fact that when we were growing up, video games were actually way less accepted than they are today. And especially in the last decade, they've been blamed more for these problems than they have the entire time we were growing up. I can only think of one major issue that popped up, and that was when Manhunt got banned by California because Californians was just like, nope, it's gonna make you want to kill people. No, it's not.
Video games were so way less accepted in Australia.
Yeah. Video games were so way less accepted as we were growing up as kids, because when we were growing up as kids, we had old head parents who were like, get your ass outside and go eat some dirt.
And we did that.
Yeah, we did that. And then we came back in, drank a swig of water, and hooked up our Xbox.
And that's why we don't get the COVID.
You brought a bad memory, man. I remember playing I think it was FF7, and I didn't get to save, and my dad like turned off my PlayStation. He was like, "Go outside and play." I was just like, "This one time, you could have let me save." Well, it was fun going outside, but yeah, no.
Yeah. I remember when I was younger, and we first got our first computer in the house, which was when I was like almost 8th grade or later, I think, and I was playing Doom on it. And then my dad just came in, turned it off. He'd say, all right, go play with the neighbor's kids. And we ended up playing concrete football, like football on the concrete, and nearly busted my head wide open.
Yeah.
Because we were just fucking slinging each other around. And I was just like, I could have been just having a good time inside, but nah, now I got a concussion.
So the point of this podcast, clearly, the outside is dangerous. Don't go there.
I mean,
2020, I was about to say 2020 taught us that.
Yeah.
Bro,
outside got coronavirus.
I have physical scars all over my like I have a scar on my hand from where I was outside. Fun story. I'll tell you this. So went over to a friend's house. I think I was like 10. Went to their house. Got there and they had the N64 hooked up, and what was the game we always played? Oh shit. It was a racing game. I remember that. But Oh no, shit! It was Cruising USA. Cruising USA.
Oh,
Yeah, classic. So went over there, and so the way the house was on the main level. They had this massive ass living room, massive ass kitchen, big walkway up the stairs were all the bedrooms. Well, all the adults hung out downstairs. Little did we know the adults were drinking and doing and playing cards and having their day. We went upstairs. Yeah, we went upstairs to go play Cruising USA. We hear our parents yell out, "Hey, y'all need to go outside and go play." For reasons, vitamins. There were vitamins in the house.
Kate,
vitamin D.
Gifted another sub.
Jesus, thank you so much, Kate.
Hey Ice.
To Isaac.
Yeah. And
Beautiful.
she also had to drop in with the y'all. This is the best podcast y'all have ever done. Thank you so much, Kate. We really appreciate
Your boys
that.
hit affiliate? I didn't know your boys hit affiliate.
Yeah. By the way,
Congrats.
we hit affiliate. Thanks, man.
Hey,
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say go. I was gonna say go
Even with my
sub,
shitter
but
attitude,
now
we
you
got
can't. So. Yeah.
So I'll wrap this up quickly. We go outside playing whatever, having a good time because outside is fun. There are things outside that are fun, playing sports, whatever. But I had to use the bathroom. Didn't need to pee either.
Ooh.
It's a I get to the door. I get to the door. Their front door it was wooden frame, giant, one of those giant like crystal glass, like the different different glass. So you can't see through it. Banging on the door, can't get in, and I have to poop. Banging on the door. No one's answering. I get angry. I feel the turtle head, and I'm like, I smack the glass, and I had a shard of glass that was 2 inches deep into my hand. You could see it poking out the back of my hand.
Ooh.
Like the skin was raised up to where it hadn't broken the skin, but it was still sitting out about that far from my hand.
Ooh.
Because I had to shit.
Man,
You gotta go. You gotta
just
go.
found a bush.
Gotta go.
But what did I do?
Gotta go.
But what I did was when I bust the door, I didn't have shit no more. But I say all that to say this, like, I have scars. I have physical scars that still ride with me today. I could have been playing video games. Just saying. Like, there's no, but I busted my hand through the door, not because I wanted to play video games. I busted my hand through the door because I had to shit. Like, there's no correlation. Like, that's what I'm getting at. There's no correlation here.
What I'm hearing is that the need to shit therefore makes you violent.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I'll accept that.
Dude, Taco Bell hits you a type of way.
Yeah, if you got a couple beers and you got some Taco Bell in you, like the need to shit is like survival.
Yeah.
Like I will bust down a cop real quick and be like, put 6 in my back later. I got a shit.
God. Oh, well, that's where we're at now.
But, I mean, to get back on topic with this, with playing outside and video games and the obvious stigma and stuff with it, like that with it is, children should go and play outside. I mean, it's good for them. It helps physical activity, keeps the blood flowing, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Playing outside is good for them. But on the contrary, like if they're playing a game or something like that and they're obviously doing something they enjoy, let them have it. I mean, they're kids. They're going to do what they want to do anyway. They're going to find a way. I mean, I know when I was a kid, like if they would tell me to go play outside and I didn't want to do it and they just pushed me out the house, I would go back in, bring the thing outside, plug a extension wire to it and just play it there.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, kids are going to find a way to do it, but it's just what I would say about it is you got to find a healthy balance for them.
Yeah. The big thing there, it's simply 2 words. It's very easy. Everything, and it doesn't matter if it's violent video games or regular video games. It doesn't matter if you're going to go out and play flag football or baseball. It doesn't matter if you want to sit down and read a book. It doesn't matter if you want to go cook. Eating, because hey, and I'm pretty certain it still is a national obesity crisis. Apparently, it's still going on. 2 simple words: healthy consumption.
Yeah, everything in moderation.
Yep.
Correct.
Except for beer.
Cheers, bro. I'll drink to that.
No, this is actually the beer I cracked open last night when I kept getting killed for no reason.
Yeah.
I got me a lot of water.
Yeah.
I'm healthy, you know.
Oh, see, he's showing us up over here. Yeah. Like, I'm a water boy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think this might be a good time to maybe tone it down a little bit and maybe look at the topics that, you know, we blame video games for that aren't necessarily violent. Like, for example, you know, distracting or, you know, wasting your life away kind of situations. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I mean, I will say video games can be distracting because I definitely opened up my laptop in the middle of a college lecture and just started playing Skyrim because I was like, man, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
Dude, I was playing Castlevania
Oh, yeah.
for the Rona. I was playing Castlevania 1 on my laptop.
Nice.
I mean, props to my professor in that class though, because he came around the desk, saw what I was doing. He was like, "Oh shit, dog, you got the Draconia sword? Fuck yeah, do it up!"
Yeah.
And just let me play in
Nice.
class. So props to him.
I mean, he got paid either way.
I'd like to
Exactly.
point this out because I have the perfect example of that too. And Sam and I went to college together for the very brief stint that I was there, aka one
Poor
semester.
college.
So when we went to college together, my mother was very adamant on me going to school right out of high school. I passed one class in college in my first semester. One. I had 6 total classes that I had to go to. I dropped out of 2 of them, failed the other 3, passed 1. The one that I passed, ironically enough, was my worst subject in high school, and that's English.
Yeah.
Oh,
All
fuck
because I had a
no.
dope ass teacher. But I say that to say this. The reason that I failed the other 3 classes was because I never showed up. Would you all like to know why I never showed up?
I've got a
Video
few
games.
ideas.
It's because I was playing ping pong in the student lounge when all the other students were in there hanging out because there was a giant ping pong community. It had nothing to do with video games.
Not
It
at all.
had nothing to do with me going home and turning on my Xbox. As a matter of fact, I found more enjoyment in that time going and playing ping pong. I was getting physical activity out of it because those dudes and ladies were for real.
Yeah, I was part of that too, and it was taken very seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't video games. It was just fuck classes. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Correct. So when you look at it from the education standpoint, again, we cannot pinpoint the blame every time to video games. You can't, because you could go down the line of saying maybe that student isn't getting enough, and this is to some teachers, not all. Want to put that disclaimer out
I
now.
was about
I
to
know
say-
a bunch of really awesome teachers. I think we all do. We all remember
not
those dope
everyone.
ass teachers we had in school.
Mhm.
But sometimes that student's not getting what they need out of that class. They might be bored as shit. I remember, and shout out, I'm not going to give this teacher's name out. Shout out to this teacher. You were boring as fuck. My first period math teacher in my senior year of high school, literally, you'd walk in, sit down. She'd probably turn on her little, one of those old school, what are they called? The
projector things?
projector screen,
Yeah.
whatever it was called, but they had a specific name for it. But she had one of those was like you turn it on, you hear the fan like.
Oh, you mean the one where you had the holographic like paper, the see-through paper?
Yeah.
And you had
Yeah.
the dry erase
Yeah.
markers right on. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
Oh, we going real old school with that.
Oh yeah, the one that had the fan in it that you couldn't hear what she was saying. You just had to write down everything on the board and hope you got it right.
Yeah.
So she would do that, and it was literally, okay, kids, let's open our textbooks to page 53. Today we're learning about the Pythagorean theorem. Do you know what the Pythagorean theorem is?
Meanwhile, it's just
yeah,
yeah.
but this is literally first period math. It's 7:45 in the morning.
I'd be slumped.
I'm tired as shit already because I had to get my ass up at the ass crack of dawn to go to school. It was boring. But what was I doing that night before? Playing video games. Did that cause me to find that class boring? No. Was I playing video games to know that class? No. With education, there's too many factors that go into play for kids who need that interaction. Kids and teenagers need that energy level to be up for them to maintain that momentum. I had plenty of teachers who'd walk in, you'd see the teacher be like, "What up, class? Let's go! All right, come on, what we gonna learn today?" They
I
get
want some
hyped.
cocaine.
Yeah. Well, and to kind of expand on your story, so very similar experience. Just the difference was instead of being at the ass crack of dawn, mine was halfway through the fucking day. And this was back in 8th grade. I was exact same situation. I had a math teacher, boring as fuck, and I am very good at math. Like I don't like it, but I'm very good
I
at it.
remember your math teacher in 8th grade.
I'll
We
tell
had
you
the same
after.
one.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, did we?
Okay,
Anyway.
let's not go down this.
Yeah,
Finish
yeah.
the story.
But yeah, no, so she spoke. No, she never got the stupid projector thing out. She always just used the whiteboard or chalkboard or whatever. But her entire conversation, or like her entire, like, you know, lessons were just like, and if you take the first digit of this number, multiply it by the last digit of this number. Bro, I could not stay awake through this class to save my fucking life. That is the only math class I've ever failed. And that's
Point for
purely because
today's
of that.
talk. Math classes suck. Play video games.
Yeah. Yeah. And so,
Isaac, do you
I
have any?
can't
that
even
you
agree with that because I actually most of my classes were math classes from high school through college. So I'm just like, I can't say anything because I'm going to sound like a huge fucking nerd.
yeah.
Yep.
No, dude, I hate math. I suck at math. But so I changed my degree plan a year ago because I was going to school for computer engineering, and I went in there knowing I need to love math. I need to know math. But I was like, you know what? I feel like I can learn to like math or whatever. So let me get up in this.
Anderson's crying.
Yeah. Anderson's crying a little bit right now.
So I take it. So I take an algebra class, and I'm like, all right, 2 + 2, got it. A² + B² = C². I can rock with that. And then the formulas and the fractions and the graphs started popping up, and I'm just like, nah, fam. Nah.
You got Anderson fucked up right now.
I don't think he loves you anymore.
No, wait. So I felt that class, right? And
Yeah, you failed it. Yeah.
yeah, no, I was like, you know what? I'm not a quitter. I'm gonna do this one more time. I'm gonna try this one more time. So I did one thing I've never done in my entire life. I played my games once a week and just primarily focused on my algebra to learn the skill. And I walked out with an A. I was like, cool. All right, now I got this. Math got it in the bag. I just got to put a little time into it, so on and so forth. I got all the way to calculus 3 when I was like,
Yikes.
Not me, bro.
nah. And everyone's like, bro, you need, like, once you take this class and another class, you're like more like you're 75% done. I'm like,
Yeah, fuck everyone. Who said that. Y'all suck.
Yeah.
yeah. I
Not
looked at that. I looked at that. I was like, there's so many. There's an entire alphabet and numbers. So the problem's like this big. Takes you about an hour to do, and the answer's like, oh, it's 1.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to jump in on this one.
By all means, because you look like you need to.
Yeah. With the topic of math and everything like that, and video games at school and stuff like that. So, big tip for chat. I graduate with a degree in computer engineering.
Oh, nice.
With cybersecurity as well. So, yeah, I had to take all those classes the same as Isaac. And yeah, I can tell you that pre-calc, calc 1, calc 2, I failed all 3 of those twice before I was able to pass them. I mean, I know math, I understand it, I like its practical practical things, but learning math, I fucking hate it. Because with the math, once you get, I'm sure Isaac can attest to this, once you get past calc 2 and stuff like that, the rules that you thought you knew in high school and stuff like that for math, yeah, throw them out, because that's not how math works. That's how shitty it gets when you get to that kind of level.
Damn.
But anyway, like relating this back to video games and stuff like that, I would be for like these math tests because I had to go higher than calc 3. I went to differential equations and linear algebra and shit that would blow your mind if you had to take it just with high school like knowledge. And to de-stress from that stuff, because I would literally be in the library studying until, let me see, classes got out, because it was a full day. So I'll take you through like a typical day. My junior year, I had math class at 8 o'clock in the morning, math class, English, which I failed because I suck at English.
I feel that.
We know that.
I hate English. And then after that, I went to work, So it was about 3 o'clock. No, it was about 2 or 1 o'clock in the day. Went to work, which at that time was either Food Line. Food Line, I believe. Went to work, got off at like 10, finished work, and then I went straight to the library and studied till about 2 o'clock in the morning. So that was my typical day. And to distress from that, even though I didn't get much sleep, but it's college, you rarely do anyway, I would play video games. Now, it didn't mean that I wanted to, didn't mean it was violent video games and stuff like that, because most of the time I played Skyrim, or I played like something that was just calming, like, well, I will say Doom is calming for me because I just like Doom, but I also played other games and stuff like that. That was just something to get my mind away from the stresses of the day. Like, just to de-stress, not think about all the formulas and stuff I had to memorize, or when is the next test, or how am I going to pass this class and move on to the next, and la-di-da-di-da. And that's how I use video games to get through college. And I can honestly say video games helped me to get through college more than anything else I did, like taking tons of caffeine, or the bad habit I picked up during that time of smoking, or anything like that. Video games helped me in a more conducive way than anything like that. And I will have a short story for one of my math classes after this, because y'all just made me relive a whole bunch.
Okay, so it's just Vietnam flashbacks. Okay, gotcha.
No.
All right, yeah.
Dude, I just out of curiosity, right? Do you guys still have nightmares of going to class? Like, you have an assignment due and you didn't do it, and you forgot
all the time.
about it?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. See, man, that stuff is real, bro. PTSD is real for that.
Yeah, and actually, well, continue your thought. I have a perfect thing to segue after that.
But like as you were saying about, like, you know, releasing stress from playing video games, so that one day out of the week that I did, it was a whole day. I played whatever I wanted. I didn't care about nothing. Everything was done. Everything was out of the way. Even if I had an assignment due, I was like, you know what? I'll do it tomorrow. I just need this. And for so with that, and along with, because at that time I was playing a lot of Destiny, back when it was the Destiny 1, when it was pretty tight. And
yeah, back when it was good.
yeah, dude, the Baltic Glass, bro, still my favorite raid. But yeah, no, like that helped me. I feel helped me learn math a lot easier. Because, like I said, because I playing Destiny with my friends, everything that was in my head literally just got dumped out. Like, all the clutter, all the junk files, gone. To where I feel re-energized, refreshed. You just be like, all right, let's get back to it, do what we got to do. And then I'm already looking forward to, like, all right, but when Saturday hits, though, it's Destiny time. So in a way, I'm looking at it as like a treat to myself. Like, do good in school, do what you got to do, and you can play Destiny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And and Kate came back in saying playing video games is so much better than watching TV. It uses the same part of your brain as reading. And then kind of expanding on like the PTSD and everything like that, she says, unfortunately, she has PTSD, but part of my self-care is that I have to play for at least 30 minutes a day. Since I started doing this, my grades have gotten better. Some people legitimately need them to relax. And I think it's like, going exactly back to what we were saying before, like a lot of people use this to de-stress, declutter, clear out your cache, apparently, like all that kind of fun stuff. Like,
because you can't go through like life, or even, we'll slim it down even further, like college. You can't go through college just trying to learn, and then you also got to keep up with finances, and you're just constantly going. You're gonna break down. You're gonna collapse in on yourself, and you're gonna have like a psychotic episode.
Yeah,
it's not good for you.
You can't be productive 100% of the time, all the time. Like, you have to make some time for yourself, and give yourself some self-care, regardless of what that avenue is. For a lot of us, it's video games. For some people, it's going outside and doing shit or something. I don't know.
Some people, it's like going to a spa or going to a swimming pool.
Yeah.
Do what you want to do. Do what you like. That's what your downtime is supposed to be about.
Mm-hmm.
It's video games.
Because if I miss my Saturday, dude, my whole day's ruined.
Yeah,
I'm angry the whole day, man.
Yep.
Honestly, though, I like to, with my fiance, I have 2 days off a week. I like to have one be a productive day, and then the next one be just an absolute lazy day to where like I barely get out of bed, you know, like, you know, it's just like I get up to shit and eat and that's about it, you know.
I was about to say,
Like,
some days I don't even get out of bed. I'm just like, yo, I got this granola bar right by my side. I'm about to just munch on that and go night night.
Yep. And that's just because, you know, I gotta recharge, you know.
I'd like to read something real quick.
Okay.
So we've been talking about the effects of video games, of course, that of psychological, social, so on and so forth. So I decided, you know, Google was a beautiful place to go for this.
In its infinite wisdom, praise be to Google.
Oh, praise be,
Google has gotten me through a lot of college essays.
Yeah.
So this is hilarious, and this is where I love, and this is where you really have to fact check these things. So if anybody at home, whether you're right now with us in Twitch or you see this on YouTube, by all means, drop your fact checking down below in the comments or over in the chat. Reason being is because of this, and this is why I love websites like this. So I decided just to simply type in positives and negatives of video games. Like so the exact search was positives and negatives of playing video games. The first one I went to was concordia.edu.
Oh, that's a school near me, actually.
Yeah.
Yep.
Positive effects of video games. I'm going to read the bold ones, but on some of these, I'm going to read the context to it because I want you to find how hilarious this is. Bold. Video games improve basic visual processes. Video games can enhance executive functioning. Video games can improve everyday skills. Video games may help ease anxiety and depression. The very next one is a negative. Video games can make people more violent. Would you like to know who they quoted on this?
Gonna guess somebody out there like Rush Limbaugh or Sean Hannity or something like that.
They quoted the fucking Telegraph.
The Telegraph.
The Telegraph.
You know, because when I try to
you
get
go-
my news sources and stuff like that, you know, I really like to go to the Telegraph because, you know, it's just such a great, informative and very reliable news source.
Now, I'm going to read you this. This is directly from the APA.org website.
God.
American Psychological Association.org. Okay? The very first line says playing video games, including violent shooters, may boost children's learning, health, and social skills, according to a review of research in American Psychologist.
Now, to be fair, Concordia is a we'll say
I was about to
conservative.
say, isn't it kind of like a blog thing?
But that's my point.
Yeah, it's a conservative school. We'll just say it that way.
But this is a direct, like, I mean, these are psychologists,
Yeah.
doctorate earning, or have earned their doctorate psychologists. They're doctors putting this study together on APA. On Concordia, that one is not.
Yeah.
That is typically more so when you have opinion pieces and such. But the fact that you quoted the Telegraph.
And that's why I always say, when you get your information, do your research, make sure it's backed by scientific evidence and
Don't you
facts.
shit on the Telegraph. I'll write you a letter.
We'll write it to your damn congressman. He might get it better. But
Or ignore it.
Mine,
or ignore it. But
Mine just
you
goes
know
to the
what's
Bahamas.
funny?
It was in Mexico.
Oh, Mexico. That's right. Yeah.
You know what's
Yeah.
funny about the Telegraph? If you go to their website to go review the research based on this, they make you pay to look at it. You have to pay a subscription to get into their website. There's no scientific evidence shown on Concordia's website, which is one of the very first links that come up when you research this. And you can fact check me right now at home. If you want to, by all means, right now, go onto your computer, type in this exact phrase, positives and negatives of playing video games. The very first link that comes up, exploring the pros and cons of video games from concordia.edu. But I go to the APA website. Yeah, I go to APA's website. And the very first thing they say, the title says, video game play may provide learning, health, social benefits, review finds. That first line I read you, I'll go on even further. The study comes out as a debate continues among psychologists and other health professionals regarding the effects of violent media on youth. An APA task force is conducting a comprehensive review of research on violence in video games and interactive media and will release its findings later this year. Important research has already been conducted for decades on the negative effects of gaming, including addiction, depression, and aggression. And we are certainly not suggesting that this should be ignored, they continue. However, to understand the impact of video games on children and adolescents' development, a more balanced perspective is needed. While one widely held view maintains that playing video games is intellectually lazy, such play actually may strengthen a range of cognitive skills such as spatial navigation, reasoning, memory, and perception, according to several studies reviewed in the article. This is particularly true for shooter video games, which are often violent, the authors found. A meta-analysis found that playing shooter video games improved a player's capacity to think about objects in 3 dimensions, just as well as academic courses designed to enhance the same skills, according to the study. This critical, and this is quoted, this has critical implications for education and career development, as previous research has established the power of spatial skills for achievement in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, as we've so kindly seen that Anderson has Vietnam flashbacks of. This enhanced thinking was not found when playing other types of video games such as puzzles or RPGs.
Ooh. So shooters, those violent shooters that are ruining the youth of America.
It gets better.
Oh.
Playing video games may also help children develop problem-solving skills, the author said. The more adolescents reported playing strategic video games, such as RPGs, the more they improved in problem-solving in school grades the following year, according to a long-term study. Children's creativity, has also enhanced by playing any kind of video game, including violent games. But when the children used other forms of technology, such as a computer or cell phone, other research revealed.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
The APA literally has told you video games are not bad. These are doctors who study this shit daily, and they're telling you they aren't bad, including violent shooters. I rest my case.
I would also like to point out the fact that this is just a general fact in general. When you go online and you're doing research and stuff like that, and you come across something like this that has quoted, I use that because they usually just rip one line out of a study that they were like, oh, that would fit well with our blog post or whatever. These quotes and stuff like that, you can, if you go to the studies and stuff like that, you can usually find that they were part of a larger subsection of information. And even then, even some studies, like Joe said, one of the sites he went to, you had to pay a subscription or something like that. Fun fact, a way to get around that is to usually just ask the authors or email them and ask them if you can get their studies, because scientific research and stuff like that is usually largely done on like donations and stuff like that. So those doctors and stuff will give you your studies, give you their studies, and just be like, yeah, here, have it. It was supposed to be free to the public anyway.
Very true. Looks like Joe might have something to say. That's just a thought. Yeah.
March 3rd, 2020. A month ago yesterday.
That was
APA
a year.
reaffirmed.
2020.
2020?
Oh, 2020. Sorry, year and a day ago.
Yeah,
Sorry, my
there
apologies.
you go. Yeah.
All right. Forgive me. So if you want to do anything in the last year, piss off, because a lot of shit happened. March 3rd, 2020. APA reaffirms position on violent video games and violent behavior. Gentlemen, I'll start with Isaac. He's our guest. What do you think the next line says?
Yeah, you said it one more time.
APA reaffirms position on violent video games and violent behavior. What do you think the very next line says?
They don't correlate.
Anderson, what do you think the next line says?
I already said it once, you dumb motherfuckers.
Sam, what do you think the next line says?
They don't cause no violence and nothing.
Ladies and gentlemen, the APA states in the very next line, there is insufficient scientific evidence to support a casual link between violent video games and violent behavior, according to an updated resolution PDF available on their website. Go look at it. Adopted by the American Psychological Association.
Mic drop.
Yep, but as 2020 has taught us, people don't look. The average citizen does not look for scientific data or.
And you know what's crazy? What's crazy too is that in 2020, the amount of people playing games like drastically increased just for the fact that we're all locked up in our houses.
Yep.
You know what went down in 2020? Shootings. Whoops.
Yeah, because it kept all the crazy motherfuckers inside.
all everybody out there who had murder on the brain was like, man, I ain't trying to get the COVID. Fuck that.
Like, man, I have to go to each individual house to murder these people? Fuck. Like,
Wait, you mean if I go shoot up that movie theater, I'm gonna get sick? Nah, man, I'm gonna stay home.
Wait, nobody ain't
But no,
movies
no.
anymore? Quarantine. What is it?
No, but if anything, it just shows that video games are a means for escape for people like in 2020 who may have gotten the cabin fever from being locked in the house to where now they can go to any world they want, follow any story they want, and live do whatever they want.
Preach.
Everybody,
Yes.
everybody was
Amen.
locked up. They wanted to kill their family members more than they wanted to kill anyone else out there. They're just like,
Praise God. Yeah. The facts are there, people. The facts are there. It's not hard. It's not unless you have a problem reading, which some of us didn't pass English. But I read that perfectly fine. I mean, I can even go in. I just for the fuck of it, because I'm sure somebody's going to go, but you didn't read the whole article. Well, I'm not going to. Go read it yourself. I'll post this exact article that I just read into our description on the YouTube video. So, hey, Twitch world, if you want to check me on this, by all means, and all YouTube world, I know you're going to want to check me on this. The link will be there. Click it and go read it, and then make your assumptions afterwards. But I'm going to read this part. Violence is a complex social problem that likely stems from many factors that warrant attention and from researchers, policymakers, and the public, says APA President Sandra L. Schulman, PhD. Attributing violence to video gaming is not scientifically sound and draws attention away from other factors, such as a history of violence, which we know from the research is a major predictor of future violence.
yeah, just like anything else in this fucking world, nothing is black and white. It is all gray. Like when you deal with something like violence, there's many different fucking causes, like socioeconomic problems, history of violence, domestic problems, any predetermined mental impairments or anything like that. There's many fucking causes. You cannot just pin it to one thing. And even if it's that one thing, you still have to fucking figure it out and research it. It's
Exactly.
not, it's all gray. It's not black and white. So shut the fuck up. It's not video games. God.
mm-hmm.
I hate that shit when people don't take in all relevant facts.
This has been a good conversation, I just want to say.
Been a
It's been
great
real good.
conversation. Yeah. Yep.
Bro, made me had an existential crisis going back to math classes in college. Fuck y'all.
Dude,
Honestly.
yeah.
Anderson's gonna cry
So-
himself to sleep tonight.
Yeah. One last thing, because I know we've been going for a while and Isaac's got a bedtime. But no, one thing I would like to say also that attributes to this is so we've already understood that video games inherently don't cause violence. Video games don't cause laziness. Actually, they're very positive for the brain function. They're very great for social interaction. The levels going on and up.
I would also like to say, let's make it clear that even though we're saying they don't cause violence and stuff like that, it is also, when you're talking about this kind of stuff, on a case by case basis, on a personal basis. So it depends on the mental facilities of the person doing this supposed action.
Yeah, we're not
So-
talking about Charles Manson,
Yeah, exactly.
but I'm going to direct this to the household. I'm married. Sam is on his way to be married. Isaac, are you married?
Dude, I'm a bachelor and I'm enjoying it right now.
I'm not the only one getting called out here. Let's go.
Yeah. So Anderson and Isaac may not be able to attribute to this, but I'm sure you will both understand what I mean when I say this, because I'm sure you'll both agree. This is extremely important within the household because this no longer ties into the children. This ties into man and wife, or husband and husband, wife and wife, whatever you want.
Domestic partner, domestic partner. Yeah.
Lovers,
Yeah.
lovers.
Yeah.
Every technicolor in between, whatever your fancy is.
Correct. Please, let's stop the stigma. There has been way too much said that I have seen time and time again about partners being upset that their partners spend too much time on the video game. Keep in mind, you need to have that conversation with them first and foremost. If you feel as though your partner is spending too much time on video games, tell them, ask why. There may be a notion of, like we've said, we all work jobs, we've all been to school, we do it to de-stress. Maybe we spend a couple extra hours on the video game because we're had a really shitty day. The importance of that communication is because I guarantee you the only contributing factor to you being upset that they're playing video games and not spending time with you is that just the fact that they're playing the video game. You haven't seen any outlandish attitudes. No arguments stem from this. They don't come out angry. They actually come out much more happy. They probably dropped a 20 bomb in Warzone and came out really excited. Can we please stop the stigma of saying that video games are hurting relationships? I know way too many people who literally are partners or dating, and they have straight up gaming setups right next to one another, having a damn good time.
Yeah, Kate even dropped in with the couple that games together stays together.
I would also like to say on that note, if they are spending if you say too much time on video games or anything like that, you should also take a look at yourself and your relationship dynamic. Are they spending that time just to de-stress on the video game, or are they spending that time to escape another problem that's in the dynamic of your relationship?
Well, that ties back to communication.
I was about to say communication is key, but also the next key that is just as big as that is comprehension.
Oh God, yeah, amen.
Absolutely.
Shit, Mike dropped that shit, Anderson. Damn. This is one of the two singles out here calling y'all out. Figure that shit out.
And the shitter of the group just comes in and just drops bombs.
Isaac, what's your thoughts, man?
No, I remember I broke up with a girl because of something similar to that. Because everything was going good, everything was chill, you know. I mean, it's a honeymoon phase. We've all been there, you know.
Amen.
And
The happy wife, happy life.
So my thing is like, so my thing is like, for the most part, like I mentioned before, I like watching anime, playing games, you know, anything nerd related.
Yep.
And going into the relationship, I let it be known, like, look, this is what I'm into. If you're not cool with that, that's fine. No, we could go our separate ways, call it a day, so on and so forth. So she's like, no, it's fine. I'm like, cool, awesome. And so we went to school together. We went to college together. So we saw each other every day. We worked at the college, so we saw each other every day. We'll go out, have lunch together. You know, we'll just chill, kick back, you know. And around month 3, things started going a little off.
Yeah, the honeymoon wore off a little bit.
So during this time, so down here in Texas, we have an anime convention called A-Kon.
Ooh.
And it was the first time I got to go because for the first time I actually had money to go. And, you know, I go and I'm just like, you know what? I saved up X amount of dollars. I'm going to go to the dealer's room and I'm just going to splurge. I don't care if the price is over the top. I'm here for the experience. I'm here to enjoy
Yeah, at
myself.
that point, it's for the memory, and like it's
Exactly.
immortalizing that with.
It's like
possession.
buying a T-shirt at a concert. Yeah, it might be expensive, but shit, I'm going to remember what I did in this T-shirt.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
I'm
And
not
things
gonna
I like,
fucking dollars, but
and things
whatever.
I still have those shirts. They don't fit me no more, but I still have those shirts. But
Big boy struggle.
That's a painful truth. Oh god.
big boy.
but anyways, I remember I told him like, hey, I'm gonna go to this anime convention with my brother, who you met, Jacob. So we went.
Yes.
And I saw this independent artist that made these like collaborations, and at the time I was really big into Titanfall, and Attack on Titan had just come out, so it was like Attack on Titan, Titanfall shirt, and I was like, that is fucking awesome, right? So I caught me some of that. I got me a Charmander shirt, and throughout the whole time I'm texting her too, just telling her how it's going, and for the most part, she's very supportive. Like, yeah, send me some pictures of cosplays, this, and that. I'm like, cool. And I get back, the next day I go to work, and I'm like, I'm gonna wear my Charmander shirt because he's my all-time favorite Pokemon, right?
Fuck yeah, fire Pokemon, let's go.
And I remember going to work, and she looked at me, and she gave me like this glare. So first off, I'm like, did I forget something? Was I supposed to do something today?
So I got
Like,
boxes on.
Anniversary.
I got my
Yeah,
hat.
like anniversary and this and that. And she's like, hey, can I talk to you for a little bit? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? And she was like, hey, so I know you like anime and games and stuff like that, but do you have to wear that shirt? I'm like, what's wrong with my shirt? Like, I mean, it looks kind of kiddish.
I mean,
And-
you realize how many fucking weebs are out here, though?
Yeah, no, and I'm just like, I mean, I guess, but it's a show I grew up with. It's a game I played on my Game Boy, kept for countless nights. I killed thousands of batteries. Like, that's my jam. She was like, well, just like don't wear it out in public, where people can see you.
What? Oh
So-
my god.
So I kind of let that just go over my head. I'm like, you know what? Maybe she's just having a bad day, and she just was just being nitpicky, whatever, right? So I had to test it. So the next day, I wore my Attack on Titan, Titanfall T-shirt, and she was like,
yeah.
"What's that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's Titanfall. It's a game I play and an anime I'm watching." Again, she's like, I mean, that's still kind of in the realm of kind of kiddish. I'm like, I told you what I was into to begin with.
Hey, yo, Titanfall M-rated game. What you mean is for kids?
I told you what I was into. This is what I'm into. I like the shirt. She's like, okay, that's fine. You know what? You can have the shirt. Whatever. I don't want to argue over it. I'm like, bet. And then what kind of broke the camel's back, the straw that broke the camel's back was, I'm a big fan of the Arkham series,
Hey,
Nice.
yeah.
and Arkham Knight dropped, and I was pumped. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do my boyfriend duties. I'm gonna give her all the time I have. That way, when it's game time, it's me time.
Yeah.
I can play that Arkham Knight fucking collector's edition.
That way I know how to please myself, player. I'm gonna do it right.
I
So,
don't need no right hand. I got my games.
I
so
got
like,
both hands for this one.
and the thing is, it wasn't hard to do. Like I said, we worked together, we have lunch together. It was pretty chill. And to get Friday night hits, I caught my game. I'm about to play. It's Saturday night, and she wanted to go out and do something. I'm like, we could do something tomorrow. Like tonight, I just want to chill and play my game.
Man said, nah, the only thing I'm doing tonight is Batman.
No, and then I get a 300 page novel
Oh,
sent to
no.
me, and I have this rule. It's a scummy rule, but basically, it depends. Like it depends on the situation. But I read
look at
the
this camera,
first
you know it's real.
two. I read the first two sentences. If I don't like what I'm reading outside of those first two sentences, I'm not reading the rest.
He says you only got a certain amount of attention span in me. After that, it's gone.
So
Put a lot
I
of effort in the
remember
beginning.
10 seconds. That's it.
So I remember just saying like, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm not the one for you. Maybe everything was great, but I'm not the guy. Because I'm doing
Fuck
things.
off and
I'm
play
doing
Batman.
nothing. I'll try to be nice. But I'm doing things that are upsetting you, and I don't want you to be upset. I want you to be happy. So, you know what? Just let me pull it to the side, and then I get another essay, which again, 2 sentence rule, and the first 2 sentences basically summed up what I'm sure the whole thing said was, you're breaking up with me over a video game. And
Yes.
I just said, like, I respond to those 2 sentences, I'm like, yes. And
literally a
that was
paragraph.
that.
He's just like, yeah.
and here's what made things awkward, right? So I'm like, you know what? I was going to a community college, and there's another exact same community. I went to a college called Navarro. It's a branch of A&M, and there was another college like 30 minutes from there, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna transfer there. Make things a little. Let her have her little building. I have my building, dude. I went to class the first day. I walked through the door, and she's working receptions. I'm like,
Shit.
Oh,
I can't win.
yikes.
and I'm just like, you know what?
You know,
I'm not even gonna.
just not even going to
I'm
class.
just gonna. And just walk.
Yeah.
Because at that point,
my lady.
honestly,
My lady.
that semester, I was taking Cal 1, and I was like, okay, Cal 1, completely different from algebra. I got to be focused. I'm not even bothered by that. But yeah, no, that's my relationship story.
Damn. You got Kate on your side, though. She was like such a typical basic girl, manipulative as hell. No, you're breaking up with her because she's a twat who doesn't understand independence.
God damn, Kate.
I mean, I'm sure she's all fine somewhere, has a nice life. So I don't mean no ill will.
This man is just like, yeah, she might be doing good and everything, but hey, I got to play Arkham Knight and I
Yeah.
felt like a fucking
And it was
baller.
fucking
Well,
awesome.
Dude, I got all the
Let
Riddler
me,
trophies.
God damn.
Let me say this. So something similar to that factor, not necessarily the kiddish side of things, but my wife and I went through a very similar situation where I love video games. I do. It's something I've always enjoyed, whether it's to de-stress, whether it's to do research for our show, whatever it may be. Because there are games out there that I've never played before that I need to know what we're going to talk about if we're going to talk about a game. I've built my entire rig here. Like, well, I didn't build it, but I mean, I built the setup, the layout here, all this.
You built the desk and everything like that. All the sub
You dropped the money. You dropped the money.
Yeah, I got the money in it.
Put in the time. Yeah.
Yeah. And so all of this that I have now stemmed from the communication that I had to have with my wife. Because, I'm a dad, I'm a husband. 2 big things right there. That's time that you have to dedicate to that. This wasn't even just in the dating phase. When we were dating, she'd make fun of me because I'd play Rocket League all the time. She'd like, oh, car soccer? You play car soccer. That's what that is. It's car soccer. And I'm like, no,
she's
it's
not
Rocket League.
wrong.
She goes,
It's
yeah, car soccer. And I'm like,
soccer.
I'm like, whatever. Okay. But I played with certain video games and she understood that was my time. But as we progressed into our relationship, especially when we got married, if I played video games, it got to a point where it was deemed like a negative thing because it was time taken away from our marriage. It was time taken away from my fatherhood, things like that. And I consider myself a very well time managed person. Might show up late to a few events, but I do consider the fact that that event's taking place.
I mean, at least he's there.
Yeah, I'm there. I might show up 5 minutes late. I'm there.
He shows up 2 minutes before stream starts most of the time.
I do.
We accept it.
With
He's
good-
there.
Yeah.
We don't care.
But we know
With
he's a
good
dad
reason,
and a father.
but I'm here.
And a husband, excuse me. Yeah.
Right. But we had to have that conversation about, because she saw it as it was taking that time away from the family. I and I did a lot of self-discovery on myself with that, and I made sure that from that point moving forward, because when someone feels a certain way, you have to consider a sense of validation to that there's a reason those feelings are that way, but then you have to communicate those feelings on both sides and find that middle ground. You have to find it, and if you don't find it, if the balances are off, someone's going to get pissed off. If those balances are even, everyone's happy. So from that point moving forward, I had to understand, okay, so what is it that she's seeing? What times is it that I'm away? And then I had to relay to her, hey, look, I play video games because I find them fun. You know, I come into my office, I've got my TV set up over here. When I still have my consoles, I've got my stuff right here that I play. And at that time, she didn't quite grasp it, but she was understanding of it. She was like, okay, he plays video games to de-stress. He plays video games because they're fun. Whatever. My wife does not play video games. She hates video games. She not necessarily despises them to the point where she doesn't want me to touch them, but she doesn't like to partake. She finds no enjoyment in it whatsoever, and that's totally fine.
To each their own.
Mm-hmm. But she understands that I find that enjoyment in it. Now, here we are, coming up on our, excuse me, coming up on our 3rd year of marriage. Our 3rd anniversary is this month. And my wife will literally, like, we'll both work, you know, end of the day, we're hanging out, having dinner, hanging out with our son, playing with him. And when she's ready to go to bed, I hear, all right, are you going downstairs? I'm like, yeah. She goes, okay, have fun.
There you go.
That's it. That's it.
There you go.
Communication and understanding that everyone, Anderson, you said it best, to each their own. Everyone has their own thing. Video games don't cause the problem. The problem is caused if you don't communicate, if you don't explain, if you don't comprehend, and you don't find the middle ground.
Yeah, because you can have the exact same problem. Like, let's say, you know, like I'm a gearhead and I really like, you know, working on my car, you know, 24/7, 365, you know, like same situation can happen there. It's like, oh, you spend all your time working on your car. You never spend time with me, you know, like it can be the same thing. It's not necessarily just video games in this scenario. All it is a lack of communication and understanding. But then also, you know, like you got to find the times for the right things at the same time.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, everybody has their own hobbies and stuff like that. And like ours are gaming. We could also have other hobbies and stuff. Like me personally, I have music as my hobby, fishing and guns. But
I don't let that go. Come out real quick. That's the guy caught this out real quick. You, sir, are a spitting identical person to my best friend Trayvon, because everything you said, dude, is what he rocks with. He even has the same hat he wears on the daily. He always wears shades. And look, I don't know how sensitive people here, but he's also a black dude.
Out there.
Like, dude, like that's my brother, bro. And like,
Isaac, why do you think we have a black guy on our show?
I know, I get it, but the thing is, people don't like it. People don't like calling it out.
Get out there. You don't like kid.
You don't like it being called out. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, I'm just cut you off, but dude, like you are exactly who my friend is, and it is scary.
Hey, yo, I'm just me, but if he want to ever hang out with me, I'm down.
So
Dude.
we're saying a Saturday stream where we get Anderson's twin on here. All right, gotcha.
Dude, every day. Hey, bro, I just got off of work, 6 a.m. Want to go fishing?
Fuck yes.
And then like, dude, he told me to build a PC. I'm like, I build a PC. Hey, also, I just found this place. I'm building the AR right now, so you know I can send you the link to this page, so you can build yourself an AR. I'm like, bro. I got the PC. I'm not a gun. See, I'm not a guns guy personally. I don't mind shooting them.
Rusty, what's
but like,
going
dude,
on?
that like, yeah, no, you too.
Man, just called me
It's
out because I currently am building an AR.
Anderson is Trayvon confirmed.
No.
Yeah,
My twin is out there. I must find him.
Do I still have it? No, I don't think I do.
Yeah, back to what I was saying
man.
with everything. Yeah, everybody has their own hobbies and everything like that. It's not a cause and effect of those hobbies are not going to be a cause and effect for violence.
I do.
No, that's not how that works. So everybody has their own hobbies. Let them do their own hobbies. It's their way to de-stress and come back in on themselves. And if it if you feel like it's infecting with your relationship with them or their dynamic or their mental wellness or anything like that, communicate with them and make sure they comprehend that communication so you can find a way to better the situation, because communication and comprehension, they are key. They're key to a relationship or any kind of dynamic, but they are also the only way you can start to work on a problem that's there.
Yep. And Kate came back in saying, the longer you're married, the more you realize that you can do things separately while being in the same space. It's a wonderful revelation. I game and my husband makes mead and smokes cigars. So, you know, like,
fuck yeah. I want to meet her husband now.
Makes mead and smokes. I feel like he has a huge beard, handlebar stash, slick back hair.
He doesn't.
I feel like he's a lumberjack.
I know. Trust me. I know. We talk about it all the time.
Speaking of which, bro, I saw how you hooked up your son. I need you to next time, whenever you're down or I go up there, I need you to like give me a clean fade or something, man. You got some mad skills,
thank
bro.
You. I appreciate that. Yeah. So I'm a barber, guys.
That'll happen at some point.
Yeah. We'll send you a pic when he finally cuts my hair when we get the time.
Yeah.
honestly. But all those valid points. All those are so valid points, because you, like, in a relationship, you can coexist and enjoy separate things. It's you.
I'll say you shouldn't have, for a relationship, you shouldn't have a parasitic relationship where one is feeding off the other. You should have a co-symbiote relationship where both of you are well-regulated individuals, can survive on your own, but you look to each other for comfort and things for that a relationship is for. You should never be surviving off of one person or the person surviving off you. That's unhealthy. That's not a good mental place. You need to get that shit checked. Go to a psychologist. But if you have a relationship where you're both well-regulated people and you look to each other for comfort and stuff like that, but you can also go about your own thing, that's how a relationship should work, and that's how it should be going.
Dang, relationship hour with the Gaming Bunch featuring Isaac from the Dude Let's Chat podcast.
Yeah, the single bros got it down.
it really is. I mean, and this ties into video games as well, because finding this is important in the games that you want to play. But you can't be someone's happiness. You have to find your own happiness and then be excited that that person has found their happiness as well. You cannot be the sole proprietor. You can't be the sole responsibility of someone's happiness. You have to find your own, and you have to create your own. And then when you both have found that, oh my goodness, you're happy you're doing that. Oh, you're happy you're doing that. Yeah. Oh, we're so excited. Tell me about your day. I may not know anything about it, but tell me about it. It goes with video games. If there's video games I don't like, but if I know that a friend of mine really enjoys a video game, and this may come as a surprise, I've never found enjoyment or the want to play Doom in any way. But I've heard Anderson talk about this so many times, and it's honestly pretty cool to hear it, because Anderson's like a little kid when he plays Doom. He's just like, yeah. Like it's true. But like, I find that, enjoyment in that, because that's something he really appreciates. And Anderson roasts me for it all the time, but I can tell you this: on camera, it's for the bit. Off camera, he finds the excitement in it, because he knows how much I love Madden.
And I love
playing Madden.
I love talking about what do you play on? What do you play Madden on, sir?
PC. I'm PC master.
Oh, that's right. You're PC. I'm about to catch you on the sticks, bro.
Yeah, we used to play it on console.
I'm about to catch you on the sticks.
We used to play it on console all the time. But that's the point I'm making here is, you can find that same enjoyment just simply by the excitement someone has. Sam and I have been, God, how long have we been best friends, dude? Like 16, 17 years?
I think it's going on 16 years,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I can tell you right now, there's games Sam plays that I'm like, RuneScape.
And then there's Madden. I don't like Madden at all.
Yeah.
I will be the one that cheeses, like back in the day, it was always every play I ran. Hail Mary, Tom Brady, Wes Welker. That's all I ever did. That's all I ever did.
And
I know it was scummy as shit, but that's only because like Carter or Joe would always be really excited about playing Madden. And I'm like, all right, let's play some Madden. because I know he's going to enjoy the shit out of this, and I know I'm going to cheese the fuck out of this because like I'll just love beating him just by doing that one play every single time.
Yeah.
And same exact thing. Just a couple months ago, Sam, probably closer to a year now.
Yeah, it was
maybe,
about a year ago. Yeah.
Yeah, but I got my laptop, and Sam knew I got my laptop, and he was like, "We're playing RuneScape," and I was like, I find no enjoyment in this game, but okay, because you like it so much, I'll play. And that's exactly what I did. I gave it the good old college try. We played for a few hours. He was just excited that I played. It's that simple, people. It really
it's
is.
just like,
And he's
it's
got
just like
so
how
much
I
money
got
on that account.
I
now,
got
God damn it.
I got stoned because I said I hate The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm right there with you. I didn't find enjoyment in that.
Like I got through a good chunk of the first one, and I haven't picked it up since. Like it's fun, but like it's not for me.
Yeah, I got roasted because I did not like Death Stranding.
I never played because I just got a PS4 like a year ago, and my friend was like, "You need to play this game. It's the greatest game of all time." And I'm like, "Okay." And I remember hearing a lot of people hype it up. I'm like, "All right." And I play. I'm like, "Cool."
Shit sucks.
And then,
all right.
and then it starts like plateauing. I'm like, "Okay."
It plateaus real quick.
I found out you do 3 missions in 3 different locations. It's always the same missions. Like you have a clicker mission, you have a mission where you're trying to avoid humans, and then another one where you're just trying to, I guess, you're inside of a building or something, just trying to either find an escape route. Or it's very linear, and people were telling me it was this giant open world, and I was kind of sad about that.
It was not open world at all. I don't care what you say. That was not open world. It's got a big map, but like, nah.
Yeah, no, I didn't beat it. I just went back to play Left 4 Dead 2.
Fair. But getting back to the point, like with the relationships and everything with games and stuff like that, I mean, that's how I started going into Siege, because before that, I fucking hated Siege. I thought it was scummy. I thought I didn't want to play it. And then Joe got so fucking into it, and I was just like,
out of nowhere. Out of nowhere.
I was just like, I thought you were Madden. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Anyway, he gets so into it. I'm just like, all right, you can have your Siege and everything like that. He was just like, bro, just come on and play with me. Just play with me. I was like, all right, you're gonna have to teach me, but all right, I'll come on. And I can honestly tell you, Chet, I am still dog shit at that game, but I'm learning.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, we have fun. Like, you didn't find that game enjoyable, but you played it because I enjoy it, and you found a little bit of fun in it. Like, it was more fun because of the fact that we just had a shit ton of banter in it, and
Yeah, basically.
hearing you go like was always hilarious.
Yo, this
But-
game's scary though. There's so
Did you
many
just
fucking
record
jump
that?
scares.
No, that's the same one. I have both of them now.
Oh,
Thanks. But we are cooking time, boys. We are cooking time.
yeah.
So,
So I think that's gonna be it for the recording. But I got a story time after the recording.
good. But I mean, we've tackled some really good topics. I mean, we really have. And the overall umbrella topic, is, do we blame video games too much? Absolutely. Without a doubt, I think we can all agree. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I would also welcome, and y'all tell me as well, I would also welcome anybody out there who thinks the exact opposite and feeling that video games are the root of all evil and that we should blame them for everything that happened. Please, there is an open door policy. Our door is always open. By all means, come talk to us civilly. We will have civil conversation. You start some shit, yeah. But by all means, come talk to us. Let us know what your
Because
thoughts are.
We always love a good debate. We love exchanging words and stuff like that. But if you come in as like a shitter, we're gonna come back at you like a shitter.
I do want to say one thing about games. That's nothing necessarily with violence, but if it wasn't for Xbox Live, dude, I wouldn't have a podcast. I wouldn't be talking to you guys. I wouldn't even have relationships because let me put it this way, man. I may have played sports, right? But dude, I'm naturally socially awkward, bro. Like I can't go to someone and initiate a conversation. But it wasn't until I started playing Modern Warfare 2, getting those toxic lobbies where you're getting shit, like people shit talking. You're like, you know what? I'm not gonna handle this. I'm not gonna take this bullshit. So you start shit talking back. So it kind of builds up your confidence, slowly and steadily for me. But like it's slowly. And then I got to the point to where I started being that one kid in the classroom in the far corner, just have my headphones on, doing my assignments, to some random dude will sit right by me. I'm like, hey man, how's it going? I'm Isaac. How you doing? What are you into? Like that helped. I mean, like I said, I'm still kind of shy in some instances, but for the most part,
You're a lot
gaming
more
has helped
comfortable with
me.
that. Yeah.
Has gotten me adapted to talking to strangers naturally.
It's
Also
almost
helps
like
that you learn some
psychologists-
new cuss words.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
almost
yeah.
like psychologists said that it helps with social ability.
Oh yeah.
What?
Look at that.
Like I'm and I'm living proof of that, bro. Like without it, man, I would just be another dude going through the motions.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly right. But again, open door policy. Anybody out there, if you have an opposite viewpoint of this, let's sit down and have a civil discussion, and we want to hear your thoughts. So, as always, chat. Thank you for everyone out there. YouTube, this is for you. Give us your viewpoints. The
Leave it in the
comments are down below. And truly, share this for a friend, especially if you feel as though they have the opposite viewpoint. Let them hear this. Let them hear the facts. Show them the link that I'll be having posted that I read today in our description. Show them all this and tell them to comment as well. And if you feel as though that we've said some things that are correct, hit the like button. If you feel as though, and this is going to be fun. This is a little test, a little social test. If you think that everything we've said today is correct, or at least you agree with what we've come up with, hit the like button. If you disagree, hit the dislike button. That will tell us what, who's thinking what. And if you also do that, make sure to comment down below so that way we know what your thoughts are. Because if you hit the dislike button, we're just going to assume you just wanted to shit on us, and that's okay. Whatever. But if you have a genuine thought about this, let us know down below in the comments. We'd love to know what you got going on. And as always, if you're new here to chat today, drop the follow button right there, or if you want, hit the sub button. It's a lot of fun. We have parties every week. It's a great time. A lot of cake. Not really, but a lot of cake.
Lots of like cake.
But
like,
also on top of that, I would encourage y'all, anyone that watches this or on YouTube, Twitch, wherever have you, if you have a friend out there and you know how the years have been with 2020 and now going into 2021 lockdown and all that stuff, do you have any friends out there that don't have a lot of friends or just isolated or anything like that? Reach out to them, talk to them,
play some video games with them.
Yeah, do whatever
Just
you
do
want.
something,
Do
you know?
play, have a hobby with them. Just reach out to them, make sure they're okay, and just check up on them because everyone can do with a little checkup during these times right now.
And you don't have to be their therapist. You just have to be.
No.
Yeah, and you don't have to be
a
anything
friend.
technically. You just be a friend. Reach out to
If you
your
notice
neighbor.
something that they need a therapist for, get them to a therapist.
Yeah.
Get them to someone who's
Be a
qualified for
venting
that.
buddy. Be a venting buddy first and foremost, though.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely, 100%.
But as always, to liven all this up, again, if you're new to the show, hit the sub button and the bell icon rather on YouTube, so that way we know you're following us and you want to follow along with all the juicy content we bring in every week. And if you're in Twitch, rub your hands together, make it nice and warm. If you're on Twitch right now, hit the follow button. And also, if you'd like to, hit the subscribe button and join us on the tier 1. You got a lot of friends who are joining you on that as well. You might find a community that you really want to talk to in our Discord, which should be in the chat right now. I believe someone will probably drop that in just a moment, so go hit that. And then, Sam, do you want to say the lovely 2 words that you love to talk about all the time?
Twitch, how you doing? Don't forget, we are now affiliates.
Zoom in.
Oh, I'm getting there. Just give me a second, okay? Just give me a second. I got a whole build up. I got a whole build up. Twitch, how we doing today? I want you right down below. You're gonna see a little heart button. That's a follow button. You should click it. Like Joe said, we have parties. But right next to that, there's a little sub button. There's the Discord link in the chat, by the way. There's the socials link in the chat, by the way. We have a sub button. You can either pay $4.99. I think it's on sale actually right now. $3.99 maybe. Anyway, $3.99. Yeah, 20% off if you want to sub. Or if you have Amazon Prime, it's totally free, bro. And then we get money out of that. So, you're not paying anything to give us money, which that's a magical money tree. I don't know about you guys.
And you know what's crazy about that?
Mm-hmm.
That money that we get,
Yeah.
we give back to our community.
Absolutely, because we do. The challenge series. There, focus. The challenge series. Wait, hang on. The challenge series. Which that we are going to be doing a new one here soon. I'm sure you guys have probably already seen the beautiful announcements for Rainbow Six. So if you are a team, or if you just got a bunch of friends that want to play some Rainbow Six, we don't take ourselves too seriously. Don't care how good you are, how bad you are. If you just want to come, have some fun, eat some cake, not literally, hop on over to our Discord. Links in the chat. Link will be down in the description on YouTube.
Or just be a healthy dose of toxic, because I'll be there and I'll be watching.
Absolutely. And Anderson might give out a toxicity award. He gave out a last minute. We didn't talk about this toxicity award for the Rocket League one. And so you might get yourself some. No, so you don't even have to win the competition, even if you're just the most toxic person. He might give you some money. I don't know. Yeah, it's just Anderson's just a rogue individual.
He really is.
Yeah.
But we cannot forget. We cannot forget the most important part of this whole episode. Isaac, tell them about your show, bro. Tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, so you can find us at anchor.fm/DLC podcast, and you can find us at our Instagram, where we're pretty active at Untitled Chat. And like this, no, we haven't had a serious topic before. This is like my first serious podcast episode, so I'm pretty stoked about that.
Glad we can break your serious virginity.
Like, yeah, so like we just.
And who is that?
If you
Master John Gaming is now following.
Yeah, but if you like movies, games, anime, every now and again we'll talk about gaming soundtracks, just because, you know, I'm a big music lover myself. I play saxophone.
We had a whole topic on that. Yeah. Yeah. We should have had you on.
Yeah.
Hey, can I hop over there for a second?
Yeah.
Yeah, but oh, and also when Joe joined us last time, he suggested we should make a YouTube, which we did.
Hey,
we did, and we got one. And for some reason, every time I search for it, it doesn't pop up. But I have a link on our podcast at Untitled Chat, which you can click on that link and it will take you straight to our YouTube channel. And our first episode is coming out tomorrow at 6 a.m. Central Time. And the topic is, so basically, with one of the founders, he doesn't watch anime at all. And my brother never watched Suicide Squad or Birds of Prey.
Ooh.
So we had this quiz set up to where if my friend, so the quiz was based on anime. Like, my brother will give a summary or something revolving around anime, and he'll have a multiple choice, and he could choose. And if he's right, he's right. If he's wrong, he's wrong. But the thing was, if he lost, he would have to watch an entire series of an anime that we choose. Nothing like One Piece.
Okay,
like
I was gonna say, like, I hope it's not gonna be 500, 1,000 episodes or something. Yeah.
But if he were to win, my brother would have to watch those two movies, and lo and behold, on the last question, which you could actually find the episode on our podcast, but he clutched it, and my brother finally, after a year and a half, decided to watch it. And yeah, it's his review on it, and we just discussed everything that went bad and some things that went good, you know. So
beautiful.
Yeah, look forward to that. And
It's a good movie to do that with.
Oh yeah. And dude, it was a pain to learn how to edit, man. Credit to you guys. You can, real quick though, so I watch y'all's videos, okay? And y'all's guys editing, bro, I'm just like, y'all set the standard up here, bro, and I'm still kind of like down here. But y'all guys, like, I like, no lie, I'm probably gonna take a few things that I see from y'all, because dude, you guys are good, man.
I'm
Y'all's
just gonna say
videos are
everybody learns at their own pace, and I can't really speak on the subject. So, Joe, Sam, take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, bro. Yeah, I mean, so editing for us.
So happy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Joe does a whole lot of the editing. Like, well, so he did he did everything for a while, and then it's a lot of fucking editing. We do a lot of content, and so for a while there, we had an editor come on here. His name was Sugar. He was a great guy. He edited a lot of our challenges and some of our playthroughs. He recently, had some life stuff happen, so unfortunately he's no longer with us, but we have a new guy now. His name is Drew. Shout out to Drew, big dick cameraman.
Big camera guy.
Yep. And yeah, so they took our shit up. Like, we thought, we're basically exactly what you said. Like, our shit was down here. They brought it up to like up here, and
like, just your guys opening alone. I'm just like, see, I need one of those.
That was Drew. That was Drew.
That's Drew.
Yeah, that was
not me.
Yeah.
That's Drew.
Yeah.
All Drew.
I hope you guys watch the video, but just know once you click it, it's going straight to us because we ain't got nothing fancy like that.
Yeah, that's totally fine. Hey, you got to start somewhere. I mean, you know, like, yeah, all you need to do.
Content is content.
And this is something that can be said for anything. If there's something you want to do, and you see, you know, like, you know, these big ass YouTubers or big ass musicians or whatever doing like these professional things, and you're intimidated by that, don't just start. Yeah. Shia LaBeouf is in your ear saying, just do it. Nike is in your ear, the other ear saying, just do it. But no, and that's exactly it. Like, you just have to start. Like, you know, some people aren't going to like it, but other people are going to like it, you know? Like, I mean, it's just, and even if nobody likes it, if you're having fun, fuck what everybody else thinks, you know? And so,
Amen.
yeah.
And then I'll see a video of yours and you do literally my brain juices are flowing. I'm like, all right, this is what I want to do. Like, like I literally start making a list in my head of like, I gotta do this. Like, dude, at this point, it's kind of sad to say. So I'm going to school to be a doctor in physical therapy. So I have a lot of science classes. And at one point, I was very passionate about it. I'm like, dude, easy. I can't even focus on that stuff no more, dude. All I think about is what content am I gonna make? How am I gonna make it? Yeah.
Welcome to my nightmare.
Yeah.
But I want to say also I want to appreciate her name was Kate, right?
Yep.
Kate?
Yeah, Kate in chat. She's one of our mods. Yep.
Appreciate the sub, fam. I didn't say thank you last time. That was rude of me. That was bad Southern hospitality.
I thought you said it, but it's, you know, hey, it is what it is, you know.
It is what it is. But
and if you're in our Discord, you can find the link to his YouTube and his Anchor.
he's right.
Yep.
He's right.
Which
you can also find the link to the episode. You can find the link to the episode I was on, the link to his Discord. I'm going to go to his show, the link to his Instagram. We'll probably post some more of them tonight. Actually, I'll probably go do that as soon as we're done. So join the Discord so you can do that. But, gentlemen,
I believe that's it for the recording.
that's it. So for YouTube, thank you so much. Again, hit the sub button.
I'm sorry. I know you're going through your outro, but Kate coming in with another gifted sub.
Yeah, damn.
To Master John Gaming, who literally just followed. So thank you, Kate. Thank you for Master John Gaming for following. And hey, welcome to the fam, man. Like,
welcome.
Yep.
Also, hey, you know what, guys? Let's give Isaac a round of applause. Claps in chat for hanging out with us. Claps in the comments down below on YouTube. Isaac, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Tell everyone back at DLC, I love them. I miss them. And we'll have to get them on here as well. But that'll be the next episode. Later in the future, of course. YouTube, we're out. We love you. Hit the sub button and the bell icon. I just hit my bass guitar. Good night.